Hi, it's Spence from LaunchFlows.com, and in this video I want to show you the 4 ways that you can remove any products from your checkout. The first way is within the product review. This applies to individual products, and the option to remove any item is always there unless you turn it off. In doing so, you simply click on that and that individual item will be removed and the total cart will be refreshed. If you wish to adjust the visibility of that option, simply go into your layout using Elementor and use the Order Review widget from LaunchFlows. You will then be able to hide the Remove Product Links option. If you did this, then the person would not any longer be able to see that option. In some cases, that's advantageous. The second way to handle this is if you want to clear the entire cart using a URL string. Let's put a product back into the checkout. And now we will remove any and all items that are in the cart. It just happens to be that I have one in the cart, but this would apply no matter how many items are in there. So we add the string onto the end of our URL, empty cart equals yes. When that is actually applied by way of a button or clicking any other element that is clickable, you will get the result of all the items being removed from the checkout. Now let's do it on the design end. If I'm already in Elementor, I can add a widget from LaunchFlows for emptying the cart. If we type in empty cart, we get the LaunchFlows empty cart button. We can put this anywhere in our design layout, and we can adjust the style using any of the normal controls of Elementor, including adding an additional title, styling the title, or changing the look and feel of the button, including the alignment, the color, the shape, and so forth. Out of the box, we can also hide this on the front end should we ever want to just have it in place for a standard layout but not use it on this particular occasion. So it's very flexible to have a template of all the things you want to use, but just selectively hide the things on any particular checkout. In this case, this button will automatically empty the entire cart. So let's look at the front end and see what it does. Here we'll go ahead and using our order bump widget, we'll add a product back into the checkout. And now we've got a convenient button for anybody to empty the entire cart without having to mess with creating it from scratch. Finally, let's assume we're using a layout without using Elementor, but instead we're going natively with either the default editor of WordPress, or meaning the classic, or the new Gutenberg. So here I'm going to go ahead and exit the dashboard, and this will return us back to the default layout of the WooCommerce checkout. Now in order to do this, I'm going to go ahead and clear up a couple things real quick to get rid of some of the code that was there. And what I'm going to do is just recreate the Add to Cart button in 2 ways. When we're working locally inside of the Classic Editor or Gutenberg, we have the handy shortcodes available to us. So in this case, I'm going to re-add the product bump, and I'm going to go ahead and add a second checkout for the empty cart. And although this doesn't give us all the same styling configurations of the Elementor widget, it could be handy in those cases where you really just want to have the basics involved and you don't want to change the layout otherwise. Let's refresh the page and see what we get. We get a very similar result, except as mentioned, the cart button for emptying will be up at the top because all the default layout stuff is just going to be below it. Here, if we've got the product added to the cart, we can click the button and get the same result. And those are the 4 ways that you can empty a cart in LaunchFlows.